Welcome to a week of our 365-day challenge. We're SNJ and we'll be walking you through the art we made this week. For day 1, the prompt was New Year's resolution, and I started this challenge. It's a new year, and so we tried to do something new, and so this was our New Year's resolution to try to get through the whole year drawing something new. And by starting, I was really excited because, I don't get to do the coloring or background work very much for our webcomic. So this year I was finally able to get back into it. And so for this prompt New Year's resolution, I kind of chose more like the New Year's vibe instead of resolution. And I used the ball drop in New York as an inspiration. And from what I understand, it's some sort of giant gathering in Times Square where they drop a ball. And I think Jay and I think we've only watched it on TV maybe once.
I think one time at a relative's house.
Yeah, literally at New Year's Eve.
That's when everybody
party.
watches it.
That's only when it is. And so I was trying to capture that vibe where, it's very festive. There's lots of people, and you have our main protagonists, Ray, Ash, and Layla. They're there to celebrate the new year together. And yeah, I thought that this was a fun challenge, and I tried a new brush for the first time, this watercolor brush. And I thought it was really fun because, even though it's nighttime scenery, I thought that it was challenging in a way that it's you don't want to make it too dark.
Right, yeah.
Because it's a bright and festive thing, but you also don't want to make it too bright so it doesn't seem like it's nighttime.
Right, yeah.
But I think the way that the watercolor colors kind of layered on top of each other, it's dark enough to give you that kind of anticipation, but then bright enough to be celebration, woohoo,
Yeah, I really like your drawing because I feel celebrating something with the crowd is always different from, celebrating at home or whatever. So the atmosphere, I think you really captured here with all of the people. Of course, you didn't draw really detailed, characters
but the
in the crowd,
but
you could tell, right? They're in a large gathering, seeing the fireworks in the New Year. So yeah.
I think especially when you have these things in the wintertime, especially places that are kind of snowy or whatever, that it is cold when you stand outside to do these things.
Right,
but,
it
but
definitely
then,
is.
When the festivities happen, everybody's excited, everybody's happy, everybody's, cheering and stuff like that, and it's actually really warm. And also when there's a lot of people, even though it's cold outside, because there's so many people who huddle together, it's actually not that cold.
I was just gonna say it's like when penguins huddle together to keep warm. It's kind of like that, except you're waiting in anticipation for an event. So in this case, New Year's, right? And people go woo, New Year's, and then they celebrate and drink and party and whatever.
Yeah.
One thing that I really liked in your drawing also was the date on the arc building, because normally the arc building in our series is just blank. It's just a building, but I actually really like that it has those projections or maybe screens even, because there's a number of places around the world where buildings will light up for special occasions or during the holidays or whatever. And I thought that was really nice.
Special light shows or something.
Yeah, I thought it was a really nice touch.
Yeah, it was I guess a new thing that I kind of just put for the date and the year and stuff like that. And I wasn't really thinking that I'm gonna put the date on there because it always has projections. No, it's just one of those things where it's you know what, it's New Year's, I kind of want to show that it's New Year's.
Yeah.
And so I'm you know what, why not? Why can't the building put the date on? So I just put it on. I'm okay, well, cool, new feature for the building. Yeah.
Alright, and on to day 2, it was my turn to draw a picture for our challenge, and this time the prompt was snowman, and like S was saying before, normally she's in charge of drawing the characters and stuff, so I actually normally don't, I do the coloring, I do the backgrounds and stuff, so I was taking this as a warm-up, and this time I drew chibi style, and I drew our characters Ash, Ray, and Layla again. Actually, I wanted to draw Layla, but it turns out she couldn't fit at all, because I had used the square layout. As you noticed, or will notice possibly in all of our other drawings, we have never used the square layout after this time, because I was like, wow, this square layout, you can't fit anything on here. And so
true.
And so I was like, okay, there's no space. I felt so bad because I had to cut Layla out. Like, she just would not fit, because also because chibis are like, they're kind of fat, they're kind of stubby.
Yeah.
Right? And so like,
a little
like,
stumpy.
I wanted to have her building the snowman in front, but then I was like, but then she's gonna cover the snowman, and that was the whole prompt. And so I was like, you know what? They're going to just build a snowman and put bunny ears on it to signify her, because, you know, her code name is Rabbit in the series. And yeah, so either way, I had to make her just off-screen, shocked that they were making a bunny snowman, and yeah.
I mean, like, despite that, I think that they're really cute. I mean, like,
thank you.
I mean, I'm honestly not the best at drawing chibis, I will admit, and I think that they turn out really cute. I mean, the rabbit looks like a rabbit, but at the same time, yes, like, it kind of looks like Pikachu, but that's okay, you know.
Pikachu.
But hey, I mean, that's fine. And no, I really like their expressions, and yeah, no, I think you did a good job.
I mean, initially, actually, I was not even gonna put trees, but then it was so empty in the background.
Yeah,
that
I'm trying to
like,
think of it now without trees. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, right. I was like, it's kind of missing something. So
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, I'm gonna put trees, and I'm like, wait, it needs snow, and yeah. But yeah, I mean, that it was a pretty like simple drawing, but like I said, I treated it as like a warm-up,
Yeah,
for myself, because like I hadn't drawn these characters in
ages.
like
Yeah.
at least a year,
Yeah,
more than
yeah.
I think. So like for me, I was just like getting back into the swing of things, because
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
normally like when I color them, like I don't have to do a lot of drawing.
Yeah, yeah.
So like for me, I was like,
You're
oh
just
yeah,
plot the colors where they need
yeah,
to be.
like for me, like I know where the colors go and how they are supposed to look, but like actually drawing them is another skill entirely.
Oh yeah, of course.
So,
I mean,
you know.
I mean, like before this challenge, I didn't color anything for close to a year and
Yeah.
a half, and I
Yeah.
would assume for Jay, it's been almost a year and a half since she's drawn something, right? And so
Yeah. I mean, besides like some of the backgrounds and things that we have to do, but like that, it's not drawing people, right? It's
Yeah,
not drawing
yeah.
our characters. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alright, so for day 3, it was my turn once again, and it was for skiing and snowboarding. That was our prompt for this day, and I thought it was a really good opportunity to try to do something dynamic.
Yeah,
I mean, I was like, you know what? Snowboarding is so cool.
it is.
Like, there's gotta be some way to incorporate those cool, like, snowboarding tricks. And, like, kind of like, I mean, I kind of put, like, snowboarding and, like, skateboarding kind of in the same vein.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they're kind of, like, you know, I guess, on ramps or on hills or,
It's
like,
like
just pipes or
yeah,
whatever.
jumping
off of it and doing,
Yeah.
like, cool, like, flips and all those things. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go draw that. And so I was like, you know what? One more thing. I'm going to make this upside down. And so
yeah.
I was like, okay, since we're gonna do that, I'm gonna go look up like tricks and those things.
Yeah.
So, like, it's obviously kind of hard to find, obviously, an upside down trick. So I just found a right side up trick, and then, and then I just
Whatever reference works, right?
yeah, I mean, I just
yeah.
turned the canvas, you know, quote unquote, upside down and drew it right side up. I mean, you can see me do it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, but then, you know, when I turn it back in properly, wow, he's upside down now.
I mean, I think it looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he looks so cool upside down. And I was actually really surprised because I didn't think that you would draw him upside down. And I think that's what's really neat about this photo. Like, I think it's I think it's sort of unconventional, but at the same time you're like, oh, he's doing a sick trick, you know?
Yeah.
Right? So yeah.
And kind of like, I mean, I mentioned this in the YouTube short, but I was also like researching like, I guess like snowboarding and like skiing clothing, and like they're really like kind of boxy and like baggy, like, and like, but also, well, no, like really. Like, well, boxy for one thing, but also really like brightly colored. And so like I was just trying to make sure that it's like, because you know how men's clothing are really like oh yeah, gray, and
It
like
can be really dull.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't really want to have like a black on black on black on black situation,
Right,
plus
yeah.
like the snow.
Or it'll be like blue.
Yeah, and or like blue, right? And so it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I don't really want it to like, you know, blend in the background, right? And so
yeah.
I was like, okay, surely red is something that, you know, is still kind of guyish,
Yeah.
and you know that fits Ash's color scheme. And so I was like, okay, I think this works. And then for his board, I think I was gonna write some sort of like text on it or whatever,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Oh yeah, some people have some really,
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool boards. Like,
Yeah.
like really decorative.
I don't remember what I was gonna write. I mean, you'll probably see in the speed paint, but like I think it was something like, I don't know, like fun or something, like I don't know. But I realized that I was really bad at just writing text, and I really didn't want to format text around this
Yeah.
board, so I was like, screw it, no
I mean, some
text.
people have like designs on their
Yeah, I was
their boards.
considering doing that
I mean,
too.
sort of like the bottom of like skateboards, right? Like people have like skulls and
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah. Those
flames and, like-
hate texts are really
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. So
Like I just kind of opted for like a gradient on this one. I'm like, oh, whatever, cool
It's just
enough.
plain.
But you know, I did really want that text, but
well.
I didn't. Yeah.
But I mean, part of me thinks that the text may have been possibly too eye-catching. Like, at least right now, like, all of your attention is on Ash himself, right? Like, and if you had any, like, flames and skulls and fire and, I mean, wait, that's the same thing, and text, it might have taken away from just, like, looking at him. So, like, you know, ultimately, maybe you did make the right decision.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of wanted to have that kind of like refreshing winter vibe, because I mean, like,
yeah.
when you think of winter, you think of like cold, dreary,
Right.
and like shivering, and like
like,
this sucks, and like, you know, a lot of people really have a lot of negative feelings towards winter, and I totally
Right.
get it. But like, I feel like if you've done like a winter sport, you know what I mean when you have that like adrenaline and like that crisp winter air. Like, I kind of want to have that vibe,
and even
you know?
the wind on your face. But I think also because like in the wintertime, especially if you're from like a snowy area, like the skies are usually very gray until like it like stops snowing, and then it's like bright as day, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like just like, you know, in your picture, which yeah, I think is really nice.
Yeah.
Alright, so on to day 4. So day 4 was National Spaghetti Day. So for this day, I automatically knew who I wanted to draw. 100% I was drawing Layla because I had off-screened her on day 2 and I felt so bad. So I was like, nope, the subject of today is going to be Layla, and she will be eating spaghetti and meatballs. And yeah, I mean, I think for me, one of the things that I wanted to hammer early on was, I guess, like what kind of expression I wanted to give her. I think because, you know, it's okay to just draw her like eating pasta, which I obviously did. But I think for me, I thought that it'd be cute if she was like eating pasta but somehow like got caught in the middle of doing it. Like, I don't know, like maybe someone's trying to have a conversation with her and she was just
Starving away.
yeah, she was just like so engrossed in eating pasta. She's like, oh whoops, like someone wants to talk to me, like yeah.
It's like, I'm totally not like just scarfing
Yeah.
down pasta and not paying
Exactly.
attention.
Yeah. And so actually, for this day, I don't know why, but I surprisingly had a difficult time drawing all of the spaghetti. Like, and when
I think that would be the hardest part too, honestly.
yeah, I mean, and like for me, when I was googling like reference photos, like all of the spaghetti is so like entangled with each other, and I was like, wow, this is gonna be such a pain.
And
And
like,
like,
if you watch those like cooking videos, they're always like twirling it around something.
yeah, and like of course on your plate, it's you don't expect it to be like really neat. And so like I tried to like draw it in like clumps, but also like, you know, each length, like each spaghetti is like different lengths, or like they're like curving in different ways,
Their own
and, like,
individual
but
strand.
at the same time they're still like a mass together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? And so like for some of it I was like, screw it, I'm gonna put a meatball there. You know, like cover that spot so I don't that spot with a meatball. I'm gonna put sauce, gonna put the basil or whatever the heck I drew on there, you know, sprinkle on with parmesan, and you know, hopefully it looks good enough. And honestly, I think it turned out alright.
Yeah, no, I think what I really like about this piece is that she really looks like she's enjoying herself.
Yeah.
Which I think is like really like charming about it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I think sometimes like people can be maybe self-conscious when they eat.
Yeah,
and they're like, you know, the whole table manners and stuff like that. But you know, Layla's just so engrossed in what she's eating. She's like just stuffing away. She's like, huh? What? You won't talk to me? Oh, okay. Let me finish eating this bite first.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I think it's really cute. And yeah, I mean, as a person who honestly, maybe it's a bit sacrilegious to say, but I'm not the biggest spaghetti person. But you know, Layla,
I think it's alright.
I mean, Layla's expression, you know, not to say changes my mind, but makes me, you know, think twice about it, because you know, some really good spaghetti does exist.
It just hits different.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, like, I think for me, like, also because I think it's easy to draw someone eating kind of in an unflattering way. Like, you don't want to like make not like someone lose their appetite, but like, you know how sometimes it's kind of rude to stare when people are eating or whatever. And so like, I don't know, like I just feel like I didn't want to make her look bad.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Like, yeah. But also, one thing that I wanted to do, cause like, you know how she has an elongated bang on her left side,
Yeah.
right? And in the picture it's the right, but you know, on her left side, and like just making sure that her hand was like properly trying to like push it back, because
Right,
I know
right.
that, you know, sometimes when your hair is like, it's like
When
kind
it's-
of long,
yeah,
but like
yeah.
it's not,
It just gets
it
in the
is long
way.
enough to like push behind your ear, but sometimes it doesn't stay, and so like you have to use your hand to kind of like, you know, push it out
Yeah.
of the way so you don't get like the pasta sauce and
Yeah,
stuff all
we've
over
definitely
it.
been there before, where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, your bangs, where it's like it's not long enough to put behind your ear,
Right.
and you're like, you don't want to like awkwardly hold it, but of course it's also not long enough to like make into part of your ponytail or something.
Yeah.
And so you're just like awkwardly holding onto it while you eat.
So yeah, that's
I
kind
know,
of,
I think that's a nice detail.
well, because I was like, you know, if it were me, like if I was in Layla's shoes, that's how I would have to eat the pasta, and that would be so annoying. but it happens, right? Like,
I
when
mean,
you
the
grow your
pasta
hair
seems
out.
good enough that she is willing to go through the troubles of doing that anyway.
Yeah. And I think you just get used to it, right? When you have long hair. But yeah, I mean, you know, you just tie it up or whatever. But yeah, so for me,
This picture has a lot of realism to it.
surprisingly, right?
Alright, so the next one is me again, and today's prompt for day 5 was music. Woo! Yay! And so for this one, I actually started with a different picture, and it was a picture of Ray with an earbud in his ear, like sharing with you, I guess the viewer, sharing the music. And part way through that, Jay was like to me, hey, you know what, I think this would be a great time for you to draw our idols like inside our webcomic instead. And I was like, you know what, you're so right. And so I abandoned that other drawing and then came to draw these two, as you see right now.
Yeah, I think what happened was, so you were like a very good chunk through like that Ray drawing, like you were on the line art or whatever, then like in the night I was like, you know, I think
You want to reconsider.
Yeah, like this would be the perfect. I knew, like, I know you're almost done, but do you want to change your drawing?
Yeah. So anyways, I did end up changing it to the two idols, as I said, Hanae and Hikaru, which are actually the two avatars that we're using right now.
Yeah.
And so they're, as I said, idols in our webcomic. And what I tried to do was I tried to reference those like girl band, boy band photo shoots.
Yeah.
Where they're, you know, posing coolly and aesthetically for, you know, their fans, I guess.
Yeah,
like
K-pop idols or something.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
this one actually honestly took quite some time because these two characters, they're minor characters and they haven't honestly really shown up much in our series so far.
Yeah.
And so compared to some of the other characters that we've drawn for this challenge, these characters really I have not drawn much. And so this one, this picture probably took easily double the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think because normally you're drawing, you know, Ash, Ray, Layla, etc. like all the time. So like, you know, you're pretty familiar with drawing them. But for these two, like I think they've literally only shown up like once, but then also maybe in a couple of advertisements. And
Yeah,
like, that's
like in the background, right?
Yeah, definitely in the background. Like, and so like I'm not even surprised that they took double the time. But also like they have a lot of like accessories.
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah. Because I mean, like when designing these two, Jay and I, we really looked at, you know, the kind of VTubers aesthetic, but also like idol aesthetic.
Yeah.
And usually these people are very accessorized. And so compared to a lot of our normal or main cast, they're not as accessorized just because, you know, we have to draw them every week.
Right.
And so, but these two are, they have stuff.
They sure do.
And so it was a bit tougher, but no, I think it turned out pretty good. And I mean, I think honestly one of the harder parts, I guess, was actually figuring out the background, just because it's like because Hanae the girl and Hikaru the boy, they're kind of on like two opposite spectrums. So like
of color,
yeah. And so like it was kind of hard to find something, I guess, besides like, I don't know, like orange or something. like
gray.
Yeah, to be like, okay, what's a color that they don't have, but like, you know, an orange background wouldn't really look that good. So in the end I kind of just opted for like each other's colors for the background behind each character.
You know, I kind of like it though, because like I think the colors that you chose are pretty inviting, right? Like they look warm or whatever. Because like if you had put, let's say, an orange background or like a gray background, I just feel like
you probably never even thought about the orange background, huh?
No, I didn't actually. but like, you know, and like because like let's say they're in like some sort of photo shoot, like you can't use like, let's say, a concert background with like light sticks and this and that, right? And so like you're kind of stuck doing this sort of nebulous, void background.
I mean, like, if, you know, we have a concert prompt in the future, we can try it out, you know, with the different lights and light sticks and stuff. But for now, this one's just like a photo shoot aesthetic.
Yeah. No, I think it looks good. It looks good. Alright, and for day 6, we are back to me with the prompt fireplace. And so for fireplace, since it had to do with fire, I was like, you know what, this is a perfect opportunity to draw a new character, Ruby, who has fire abilities. So I was like, yeah, this is perfect.
It is perfect.
I'll draw Ruby for this one. But I mean, when I went to look up reference photos for, you know, fireplace, I was like, well, a lot of people are just like reading by the fire or like maybe like drinking something like hot chocolate or something. They weren't actually like interacting with the fireplace, you know what I mean?
Like, so like interacting like building the fire?
Yeah. So I was like, well, I could draw Ruby like building a fire, right? But
I have to say, I don't know if I've really seen somebody like
right. And so I was like, well, is that really interesting? Like, but also I was like, if I draw her building a fire, would she just be covering it? But then it's like, but then also like, if I draw her on the side building a fire, I'm like, how is that different from her building a fire, like a campfire?
True, like outside or something.
Yeah, outside. Like that's not the point of like a fireplace, right? Because that's like indoors, right? It's bringing the fire to you. But so I was like, okay, well, maybe I do have to make her just like, you know, lounge next to the fire. You know, reading a book or whatever. So, you know, that's what I did. And actually, this was the first time I was like, you know what? I think I actually have a 3D model that I can use to place in the fireplace, and so I did that.
I think it was really good that you were able to use 3D models. I mean, these 3D models exist to make, you know, your life easier.
Yeah.
And I honestly think it turned out really good. Like, I think it blended in really well.
I wanted to make sure in my picture that the fireplace was the main focus, so I opted to make the setting pretty dark, honestly, but make the fire really pop out. So the first thing you see would be the fireplace, because, you know, that's a prompt.
Yeah, that is the subject.
So yeah, and then just Ruby would be there chilling in the background.
Yeah, I mean, I actually really like the vibes of this picture. It seems like, you know, it's really cozy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think for myself personally, like, I personally just love the smell of fire. I love the warmth of the fire, and like, to me it's just so comforting. And so for me, this picture kind of really encapsulates that. And for me, it's not like, hey Ruby, get out of the way, like, let me in. Like, it's more so like a hey, it's more so of a hey, like, let me come and join you, right? I know, like, you kind of just have squiggles in there, like, on her book, but you know, no, I'm just kind of like curious, like, oh, I wonder what she's reading, like, let me join you, let me you know, enjoy whatever you're doing too, right? And I feel like it has that really, like, homey, cozy vibe that, you know, fireplaces really have, and that, like, warmth behind it. And I know you were like kind of like having, I guess, troubles with how dark it might have been, and you're like, like, did I make it too dark? But, you know, I really think that, like, Ruby and the fireplace or fire, you know, work, you know, hand in hand together. Like, I think they're better together than they are apart, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know, I think it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they invoke a sort of cozy vibe, because that's kind of what I was going for. Because, like, I mean, like, especially when you're, like, near a fire and stuff, like, it really actually doesn't emit, like, that much light. And so it usually is pretty dark. But I think just, like, on a picture sort of level, like, I was worried that, like, when people see the photo, that maybe it would be a little bit too dark. Like, I didn't want to make it, like, so that you couldn't see anything, right? But yeah, no, I think it turned out great. Alright, to round out the end of the week, it was back with me with day 7, and it was Northern Lights. And so for this picture, I really wanted to kind of just show off the, I guess, the, how to say it, the, I guess, not to say stereotypical, how way of people imagine Northern Lights, because I feel like a lot of people, or at least for me, like, I have my own ideas of what the Northern Lights are like, right? I see them, like, dancing around in the sky, and, like, if you're there watching it, and it's like, wow, it's so vibrant and beautiful and wonderful in so many colors, right? But the thing is that Northern Lights, unless if you're in, like, really, I guess, specific parts of the world, like, they're not usually strong enough for you to actually see with your own eyes. But, like, you can use, like, a camera or your phone or something to take photos of them, but you can't actually really see it unless you're in these very specific places, right? Right,
and
like way up north.
Yeah. So for me, I was like, you know what? Regardless of how, I guess, reality, quote unquote, really is, I really just want to encapsulate that, I guess, romantic vibe of the Northern Lights, how people imagine it to be, right? You know, it's, you know, snowy in the forest, and, like, wow, they're just dancing in front of your eyes. So that's kind of what I really want to show in this piece. And so I tried to have it a bit more of a, like, you know, warm and welcoming vibe. Like, it's, you know, like, there's just kind of this weird, like, I guess, cabin vibe. Like, I
wouldn't say it's weird.
Well,
it's inviting.
You know, there's a cabin vibe, and, like, you know, with, like, hot chocolate or whatever while watching the Northern Lights. Because, like I said, like, in reality, like, light pollution is kind of one of those things where it's, like, one of the reasons why you can't really see it.
Right.
And so, like, but, you know, I was like, doesn't matter, light pollution doesn't matter about real life. This is the Northern Lights. And kind of similar actually to the same, not to say problems or, like, issues, but the same things I want to do for, like, the day 1, the New Year's resolution. Like, I want to make it dark enough to be like, yeah, that's nighttime, but also, like, bright enough where you're like, yeah, that's the northern lights like lighting up the sky, right? And just trying to achieve, I guess, that balance, you know?
Yeah.
And so when I was looking up like references for the northern lights, I had to make sure that you know, because the northern lights brush I'm using doesn't have colors attached to it, just making sure that I have the right colors that I'm using, right? The pinks and the greens and the blues. And yeah,
I think for me, what I really like about this picture is that I feel like you really captured the spectacle of the Northern Lights really well. Like, I think one of the things about the Northern Lights that's so amazing is that because it is a natural phenomenon that is so, I don't know, it's kind of hard to imagine, right? It's so, especially because like it's in the sky and it's like sort of like
rays of light, right?
Yeah, right. And normally when we experience day and night, you won't see a flash of color and like this sort of awe and I guess beauty about it that is really, I don't know, it's just not something that you would experience. And yeah, I definitely agree with your decision to put them there, because I mean otherwise like Ray is just like looking at a blank dark sky. And yeah, I think that that's kind of one of the greatest things about this, is that you can kind of show off the beauty of the Northern Lights properly.
Yeah, I mean, while we were, while I was drawing this, I was kind of remembering our own, I guess, Northern Lights, not to say
encounter,
but like where we live, we don't get Northern Lights at all. It's way too south, and there's too much light pollution. But actually, like around, I think it was 2 years ago-ish.
I think
for some reason the Northern Lights like index was really strong, and for some reason, like you could see it at night, and it was the summertime or something, and like the people around us, like in our city and whatever, were like, going outside, further north to like get a good picture of it.
Yeah,
and
like travel like an hour or two.
Yeah, like specifically to get a photo of it. And for us, like, we wanted to, but, with our family, they're just kind of like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And then so we stayed up till like 4 a.m. or whatever, where it's supposed to be its peak. We went outside into the backyard. It was summertime. We were in like shorts and stuff. I was in shorts. Jay was not in shorts. But anyways, it doesn't matter. And so we tried to take photos of the Northern Lights, and it was like just pitch black. Like I could not see anything.
We were like mildly successful. I think part of the reason why we couldn't see it until that time too, because if I remember correctly, it was actually cloudy.
Yes.
That day. Cloudy that evening. And only until like around like 4 a.m.
Yeah,
it had cleared up.
And then so we were using our phones on like night mode or whatever to take photos, and you could just see the slightest band of like pink or like green, and it was really cool.
It was,
but at the same time, it's like you're like just staring at pitch black nothingness. You're like, wow, there's something beyond the sky, but I can't see it.
Yeah, you're like, I think it's there, but I'm not sure. Like it wasn't like particularly like vibrant or anything.
Yeah, and you're like and then so you look back at your own photo, you're like, some like pink streak in a black background. Woohoo, that's the Northern Lights.
It was like a blotch.
Yeah, I mean, like one day I'd still, I think, like to see the Northern Lights as I kind of drew it today.
Imagine it to be.
But I mean, it was still cool, right?
Yeah, I'd like to see it too.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen the Northern Lights, even if it's a little flicker, I think it's still worth seeing.
Yeah, so just to go back to your picture, I mean, I think that you really achieved the really, I don't know, cozy and nostalgic vibe with the watercolor, and I think,
thank you.
Yeah, and I think because, like you said, like you were able to like show that it was nighttime, but still put the colors, like, I don't know, I thought it worked really well, so yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week's 365-day challenge. We'll see you next week.